Hello, how are we all doing? I wanted to make a video talking about neutral skips. I think neutral skips in this game are very controversial. I know some people might say things like Johnny's dash is a neutral skip, or Chip running at you, or Geo running at you is a neutral skip. I was more talking about special move neutral skips. I don't think that those are neutral skips in general. They're very good neutral tools, but I don't think they're skipping the rules of this game. Or sorry, the rules of neutral, I should say. I'm not going to be considering supers. So like Potemkin's super is a neutral skip, but I'm not going to be considering it. I'm more referring to metered options, not supers, even though supers are metered options. But you get the point of what I'm trying to say. I will start off with Sin, because I know some people out there do think he has a neutral skip. But let me ramble on for just a little more about neutral skips. To kind of put neutral skip in a bubble, I would say, so it is how it sounds. So you skip the spacings of the screen, and you just kind of eliminate the footsies game, and you immediately get to start your offense. That's the easiest way to simplify it. This move is good at getting around pokes, so whether it low crushes means it goes over moves, or whether it low profiles, whether it goes under moves, right? You basically just get to go right to your opponent's face, and from there, continue your pressure. It is your turn. In this game, again, they're mostly metered. There are some options that don't require like tension, but in substitute of that, they are taken up by a resource, right? So for example, Nago blood gauge, right? So kind of something to keep them in check. So yeah, basically something that's pretty hard to contest. You can't really play in the space that you want to play in. Like the typical keep out technique doesn't really work versus these style of moves. You either just block them and let them waste the bar, or you try to wiggle your way around it. That's pretty much it. I think to start though, we will talk about Sin, the character I play. I know some people like to say that Elkhunt is a neutral skip. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not even close. It's a good move. The combo on hit is very good and very rewarding, especially if he has the stamina for it, which most of the times he probably won't. More often than not, he probably won't, just by how long it takes to come back. People don't realize, but what Sin uses to do block strings with is the same thing he uses to, he spends his combos with. So, no, it's not often that you will get full comboed off this. You know, obviously the counter hit combo is very nice as well. If you land this, you get, oh, sorry about that. Right, you get the close slash dash cancel combo. So it's very nice and very rewarding, but the low profile does not start until frame 10, and it is 21 frames. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but you know, neutral skips tend to be faster options, just more explosive options. Obviously, you don't want a neutral skip that's slower since it has a higher chance of getting hit out or stuffed or whatever, right? So no, I would not consider this a neutral skip. It's too slow to be a neutral skip. Maybe it would be closer in the conversation if it low profiled on a sooner frame, maybe around like the 5 or 3 frame, but it does not low profile until frame 10, meaning it does not go under pokes until that frame. In this game, there's a lot of like 10 frame moves and whatnot, right? It's not a neutral skip. It's very good, but it's not a neutral skip. I think one of the neutral skips that I've been in this game for the longest time is Soul's Bandit Revolver. I don't need to get too far into this. This is a move though that definitely requires meter, where with Sin, it requires stamina, and then obviously you have Nago, which requires blood. But with Soul, you know, you need meter. This is not a good option. It's a lot of landing recovery. It's like 6p punishable on block. It's not something you're doing without meter, really. But in return, the reward you get is huge on block as you get to set up a mix-up. You have the JP overheads. You have, you know, the fast start. Oops, sorry about that. You have the fast start C, which can either lead into a low, or, you know, you do this into this, right? And there's some other stuff out there. You can do like 1 JP throw, right? Whole bunch of stuff you could do. Again, it does low crush moves, so you see Soul jump up. In this state, he goes over your lows. So it is a very good move, but just hard to use without meter. So it is kept in check by meter, but regardless, still a very strong move. I actually want to talk about now, this is what I think of on the level of BS when I think of neutral skip. Let me go grab 2 characters and show off what I wanted to say. All right, whoa. Who would have guessed, guys? It's Happy Chaos. So what does Happy Chaos do to skip neutral? All right, well, I'm glad you asked. Let me show you. So, with Happy Chaos, obviously he has this thing right here. We all know it. We all love it, right? The gun. When he shoots the gun, he can cancel out of it. And then from here, he just puts you in block stun while he runs up and takes his turn. You're in block stun. Like, you're in block stun from full screen as he is running at you. There's no out neutraling this. I don't really, yeah, I mean, unless you're a character to stop him before he gets into, I mean, okay, here's the thing with Sin. Because Sin's, again, his L count is 21 frames, right? It doesn't hit from this range. This does hit from this range, right? You do this, right? This. You can delay your shots. You can, you know, do the mind game of keep them out of block stun. The issue with it is the bullet comes out on the first frame. So it's kind of, you're kind of guessing whether or not they're gonna shoot the gun immediately or not. Meanwhile, he's running at you and taking space, and when he gets to you, you know, he does his thing. If he's low on concentration, worry not, he'll just get it back. You know, if you don't want to do that super, you do this, worry not, go ahead and get your bullets, man. You deserve it, right? So, yeah, I mean, this is just a neutral skip. It's always been a neutral skip. It's something Happy Chaos players have been doing for a very long time. So, I don't need to talk about it too much. We've all been hit by it and put in this situation at some point of our lives. Even if you've never even played the game and only watch it, I bet you've been put in this situation. So, next. Faust. So Faust actually is one that is, even when he was bad, he's pretty much always had this Scarecrow PRC. So, with a lot of times, you know, I'm personally not great at it, but, right, we've all had this happen, right? Faust kind of just chilling, whatever, and then he vanishes off the screen and then appears in front of you with the PRC. This is really good at punishing full screen moves. Characters trying to keep that, you know, either if they're trying to, you know, run some type of set play, like they're trying to put something on the screen, or they're trying to get something set up, like, yeah, something set up, or whatever they're doing, right? Let's say they backdash, right? You know, you just do this. And with Faust, he has a command grab, right? There we go. You do this, put the afro on him, boom, and this is arguably the best command grab in the game, so then you get started from here. This is a 50-meter option that has always been around. Very good, very hard to play around. There's not really like a confirmed, like, real answer for it. I mean, you can kind of play around it, but it's just really hard. And the reward is so good for Faust that it's, yeah, I mean, pretty self-explanatory. It's always been here, even when he was bad. So, I mean, sure, man, right? Next, I want to grab 2 more characters, and I will kind of break it down from there. Let me go grab them. Okay, so first, I know the character on the right is very talked about, but let's talk about Slayer for a sec. So Slayer has Mappa Hunch. So this move doesn't low profile, it doesn't low crush anything. It's just a lariat. It's pretty fast. Yeah, it is what it looks like, right? This move can be plus on block depending on spacing. Obviously, if you do it here, you can get like throw punish and whatnot. But from spacing, if the later active frames hit, it does become, I believe it can make it up to +2 on block. This move also can be Kara'd to go even farther than it currently does. So essentially, you can make this move like that hit from like full screen. Very, very good move. But I think with this move, it has... It's crazy. I feel like every time I talk about Slayer, I'm talking about an issue he has. But I actually think this character is very good. I don't play him, so don't say I'm downplaying or whatever. This character is still very good. I promise I don't think he's bad in any type of way. But Slayer, I think this move was really, really overhyped. Kind of. It's very, very, very good. But I think when Slayer was at his peak, when he was like top 3, I think that this move was just so dumb for what he already was doing. It was just like a cherry on top. He was listed to have bad movement, but this kind of took away the bad movement, right? And this move alone actually won him some matchups. But versus some characters, this move wasn't just the only thing you can do. And so he kind of relied on getting in on other ways, and, you know, I mean, this move, it allows you to take the space. I mean, obviously, you see how far it goes, how fast it is. Also, just the scare factor that makes, you know, you want to play in the range of, you know, this range with Slayer, but then he had other tools like this to kind of stuff you when you got in that range. But this move has gotten nerfed, so it's like, you know, this move is a lot easier to deal with. It went from like 21 frames of recovery to like 40 frames of recovery or something like that. So this move has gotten worse. So, you know, you're kind of just playing, again, he's very good versus characters that want to get set up, right? So if Eddie wants to come out, so if Zato wants to summon, or Happy Chaos wants to go into steady aim, or you want to punish something from afar, right? They're very minus, you want to get in their face, then this would be your move, right? And then obviously you have this move if you like kind of want to do like a fake out. Not really, but it stands there, right? This move is obviously for different uses, like on, you know, like block string enders and whatnot. Mappa Hunch, very, very good move. It's not exactly like, again, he goes through the screen pretty fast, but he's not skipping it, right? It's pretty hard to hit this move out, like trying to predict it and hit it preemptively, but it's still, I mean, it's his only movement option pretty much, right? It's the only thing he's really gonna do. If you're not scared of it, I think the more scared you are of Slayer, the better that Mappa Hunch becomes. And so I think that's where the neutral skip term came from when fighting Slayer when he was at his prime. His power level is a lot lower than before, so yeah, I'm not gonna slap neutral skip on this move because, like, again, when I say neutral skips, like, let's talk about flip. Let's talk about like an actual, just, you know, forget what you're doing, it's my game type of move. We have Johnny, we have flip, right? So obviously Johnny does flip, and you know he uses this move. Okay, so yes, it's better with meter, but even without meter, you can make this move at its lowest point -1. There are some like RPS options you could do, right? Kind of play around with the opponent's mind, but absolutely, I do agree this move should be used with meter. You do, you know, thanks to the buff to make it that if you just hold H, the card comes out at the the first point possible. You do this, and in this situation, you could do stuff like, you could do stuff like this, right? So this is one option. Oh, I didn't get the card. You know, you just do stuff like that. You can do, right, overhead if you wanted. You could do, right, you could do fake overhead in the low. You know, you could do, right, if you, I don't know, if you just want to take your turn, right, if you want to do stuff like overhead into high, right? There's a lot of stuff you can do and kind of play around with this. I mean, like I said, if you want to just do the easiest thing, you could just do this. Oh, sorry. You could just do this and then throw a card, B+, take your turn and run it back and increase the risk and whatnot. But again, like, there are different things to do. Yeah, this move is just, it low crushes, right? It's pretty good at getting around moves. It does its thing. You don't absolutely need meter, right? You see a lot of Johnny players have done this and then kind of like played around with doing some things from there. But I do agree most of the time you should be using this move with meter. But it's not like death without meter, like Stun Dipper, for example. It's just, yeah, it's flip. It does what it does, dude. It allows a very ugly playstyle. It's extremely good. We've all gotten hit by this move before. We've all probably have used this move before for fun. I mean, yeah, who doesn't love Guard Crush Strike Throw? I love it. No resources, by the way. But the next moves that I want to talk about, let me go grab it. Okay, so the first one we'll talk about is actually Mei. So, Dolphin. This has probably been a top 5 move in the game since like a very long time. I mean, you can pretty much do whatever with it. You can like stop the momentum, you can carry the momentum, have it go farther, right? It's very safe on block. Creates some pretty messed up RPS situations on block. I think maybe this move wouldn't be considered as much as a neutral skip if the on block situation wasn't so good for Mei. It's not plus, it's just she seems to always be in a better position than you are. This move is very fast. It's, I believe, 9 frames. It's great. It does everything. It's not much. Sadly, we can't like get into it too much just because no one plays Mei. That's the issue with Mei. I think that there would be a lot more conversation and whatnot about this character, we rate her high because the fellas in EU, you know, fight Slash, and you know we've seen the true potential of this character with Slash at tournaments. But as far as like, you know, other than that, we don't really see Mei Blairs. So this move has kind of gotten, or the character, not even the move, the character has kind of gotten like left behind. Yeah, Dolphin is Dolphin. I mean, this move is absurdly good. It always will be good. It's not much to say. The other one is what I don't consider a neutral skip, but is very good. So you have Drone, level 3 Drone. We've all had to deal with this move before. Full security, it basically goes full screen. If I were to set Mei to, you know, backdash, or Goldlewis run, I guess that would be the... Danger. Right, it goes a pretty far distance. The issue with this move is, so if you hit Goldlewis, then the move, obviously the drone will disappear. There's a lot of moves that are good at hitting this move on startup, you know, Beak Driver, Misfinder, etc., right? Even just long-reaching pokes. When this is out, some characters are just good at playing around it. So, like, if you have Eddie, like, a pose is very good, you know. Bridget being on, you know, the yo-yo, or, like, doing her little air gimmicks or whatever, very good. Characters kind of playing that range with Goldlewis where you're in between, not him and the drone, but you're right outside the drone, and, like, it's in the middle of you guys, and you're just better at keeping that little space, better than Goldlewis is, right? They're just characters that are just built in to be good versus drone. Pot, I'm pretty sure, is good versus drone now, because he can like flick any drone that's lower than level 3. I know that Bridget will always be good versus drone, like I said. Like Ram is probably pretty good versus drone. Asuka used to be really good versus drone. Happy Chaos is absurd versus drone. Right? Like there's characters that are built in to fight it. It's, I guess if your character doesn't have anything, then you're kind of screwed, but for the most part, the other, like, think the, you know, not even with drone with Goldlewis, but also just White Wall Assault in general. This move has been toned down, and I don't think I'd consider it a neutral skip exactly, because it is -3 on block now. It used to be, this move used to be like the neutral skip. It's just very, very good right now, but there's ways to play around it, and there's built-in options to kind of get around it. The invul doesn't start until frame 10. I believe it's frame 10. I could be wrong. Or is it 9? No, it's 10. I think it's 10. -3 on block. Used to be plus. It just goes absurdly far, and it's, like I said, it's invul. But yeah, drone, I wouldn't consider a neutral skip. Very strong option, and it's very good at pressure as well, but yeah, we won't get into that. I'm more talking about the neutral part. But yeah, and then I think I want to grab the last batch of characters, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have Kai and Nagoriyuki. So I think Kai is going to be the easiest character in this video to actually talk about, because this move has just been a thing for so long. So let's talk about Stun Dipper. This move, where do I even start? Okay, let's start. I believe this move was a low profile on the first frame before. So a lot of times with this move, as well as being a go-to-neutral tool, it was a good defensive option, because before it was 5 frames and there was no low profile startup. It just low profile from the first frame, I believe. So what they did is, or actually what I was saying, sorry, is on defense, instead of doing like, you know, challenge with 2P or 2K, you would just do Stun Dipper RC. They've nerfed this move, so now it doesn't low profile until frame 7, and instead of 5 frames, it is now 7 frames. So you're probably like, well, it's still fast as hell. I know, but trust me, it's a lot worse than what it used to be. A lot worse, actually. You know, they've also done some scaling changes that are universal. So it's, again, move is good. If you get hit by it, you know, then you kind of do explode. I think with Kai, though, the issue why, so like when you see Johnny do his neutral skip, right, you're holding a 50-50 and like guess, right? With Kai, it's like, okay, he does this, and then what? You're blocking Kai, right? Which isn't the most threatening thing in the world. I think Kai's post situation is not as threatening as a lot of these other characters. So it's like, that's why I think Johnny is just so, he's separate, right? Like if you block Slayer max range Mappa Hunch, right? He's what, +2, but not in like close slash range. It's not the end of the world, right? You block, you block Kai, you kind of just block it out, right? And you play your typical neutral game, right? You just block it out, right? And low profiles, whatever, not till later. Don't try to contest, don't try to preemptively hit it. Just let him do the thing, right? And then from there, you know he's gonna do it, so just let him do it, and then whatever, right? With Johnny, it's like, you don't want to block. You do not want to block that. Like, again, that's why I think there's tiers to this, right? And that's why there's some things I just can't consider to be a neutral skip. And then you have Nago. So Nago, he has, the Beyblade, right? Beyblade alone, very good, and it does everything. But with the buff that he got in like season 2, he can cancel Fukio into special moves, and that obviously means he can do Fukio Beyblade. This is a neutral skip, without a doubt. It is tied to his blood gauge, so take out you like. But the idea alone of Fukio Beyblade is definitely a neutral skip. It low crushes, so he goes airborne, and he actually can go under your pokes. He can also, but this move also is disjointed, meaning good luck hitting it out. It's not happening, dude. It's just not happening. Especially from this range, it's not happening. It's just not happening. You can't do like a falling button on it because it anti-airs as well. I don't know why this move anti-airs, but it anti-airs as well. Can't hit it out. I'm pretty sure he can be plus if you block it from certain distances. But even alone, this move is -3. But I believe it can be less than that. But yeah, standard again is -3. Yeah, no, this move is dude, this move is funny. This move is really, 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 really good. But again, it is tied to a blood gauge, so take it how you like. Yeah, it does like 1 trillion damage as well. High attack level, lots and lots of blocks done to it. So it's pretty hard to deal with. But yeah, that's it. Oh, no, I'm lying. One last character, and this is going to be so unexpected, but let me go grab him. So, in the middle of me grabbing this last character, I actually forgot that Anji exists. So let me go ahead and talk about him. Anji is probably the best neutral character in the game. His neutral is absurd thanks to, he has very good pokes, good normals, right, whatever. But he has spin, and spin is broken. It's very broken, like absurdly broken. This move just does everything. I don't even want to talk about it for too long because this move is actually just disgusting. Spin, right? You have spin into fish, right? Guard, it's essentially a DP that's plus on block. Guard crushes, it does everything, right? You can't low profile it, can't do any of that, right? If he spins your move correctly, then you just get lose 60% off of close slash for no reason. This move is is neutral skip even the right word for this, right term for this move? It's just I don't know, it's the best, dude. Oh my gosh, I can talk about this move all day. I'm calling it a neutral skip, I don't care. This move is just absurd, dude. We all know this move is absurd. This move tilts the life out of all of us. No, there's not really counterplay to it. It just exists. It spins everything. It does its job. But enough about Anji. I want to get into the unexpected character that most people didn't think of. That's Asuka. So Asuka kind of does have a neutral skip. So it actually is the fire cube. So if you didn't know, when Asuka gets 5 of the fire cubes, he's able to just takes over the screen. So it looks like this, right? Very plus. I believe this is in the it's way over plus 50. It's very, very plus. This did get nerfed though, because now the cubes don't spawn at 5, they only spawn at 1. So obviously it takes a second, and most of the time you're probably you're more likely using it in pressure mostly of the time. Before, if you're running away and then let's say you're low on cars, whatever, you get lucky, you draw one, you just do this, right? It's pretty character specific on if you can actually hit it out. It's not like every character just has some built-in stone answer for it, right? So they did get rid of it. It's still technically here, but they did get rid of it. You do this, take the screen, or if you didn't want to skip the screen, then you just take your time. Oh wait, now we have to wait for it to recharge. But you just take your time and get back your resources of what you were already missing. So if you needed mana, for example, so let's do this, right? You go ahead and do this, get your mana back, and then you can continue doing what you were doing, right? Lots of blocks done. It did everything, and they got rid of it, and Asuka's pretty terrible. Alongside with some other nerfs, of course. That's pretty much for all the, like, debatable neutral skips, whatnot in this game. Maybe I missed some. Like I said, I wasn't counting supers. Sol, Kai, Mei, this guy, you know, talk about Slayer, Asuka, you know, I already mentioned the speed characters and whatnot. Talk about drones, Faust, Super PRC, not Super PRC, sorry, the Scarecrow PRC, Anji as a character, Johnny Flip, Sin, Trash Hunt, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm curious to hear what you guys think might be a neutral skip in this game. Maybe when talking about one of the neutral skips or whatever, I missed something. But that's kind of how I look at the game. I would say the best one is Johnny's, but I mean, Happy Chaos probably has the most consistent one, which is also just very, very strong. Johnny obviously puts you in a messed up situation on block. Happy Chaos puts you in, you know, this endless hell on block, right? Roll, you know, 1 frame plus 23 bullet, frame traps, whatever, right? I won't even get into Happy Chaos. You guys can tell I love Happy Chaos. But yeah, Johnny probably has the best option, metered option in the game of Flip. It's way too good. Anji's doesn't cost anything, but I don't know, maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know. But that's it for me. Thank you everyone for watching, and until the next time, thank you.